Ladies and gentlemen, I had to think about this very thoroughly. How I felt about this show, because when it came to the pay-per-view, it sucked. If you saw my pay-per-view, which not many people did, I can't help that if no one likes it. But the point is that when you looked at the pay-per-view, it just looked like it was lacking so much star power. It just was not there. Matches were great in many cases, but there was nothing there, no substance, because they have no direction at all. They have out of ideas. And when you look at this little tournament that WWE threw, it was a bite off of TNA. I'm sorry, that's how it felt. TNA is doing its World Series right now. Its World Title Series. Now, I didn't get a chance to see Week 3 yet. I haven't been myself with all the stress I've been going through. But let's be honest here. This is like a miniature World Series of TNA. It just feels like that. But I'm going to give you my feelings about not the match quality throughout the night, because they always throw good matches. It's about the choices that were made of the people who were in those matches. Now, we're going to do the Fatal 4-Way first. And then I'm going to give you my feelings about who should have actually won the other matches. The Fatal 4-Way. It was good. Kevin Owens looked good. ADR has never done a 100% bad match. And this match wasn't bad. And having to do 2 matches in the night will make you very tired, even when you get like an hour or 2 of rest. Your body won't recover as quick. So a few botches that I saw him do were not so bad. And in the end, we get Roman Reigns as the winner of that match and doing the stare down with his Shield partner. And I have to say Shield partner because they actually teamed him up the last week, which was stupid. But the point is, they chose Roman Reigns as the one to go with when they had other people to go with. And my problem is that since the WWE is not getting it, I believe the Slug Daddy said it best. Vince really is not caring about his product anymore. He looks like, especially with the ratings going down to 900,000s. I mean, when you're in the 900,000s, you're almost to the point where you're looking at like television on the air that is not cared about at all. That's not good. So it's like Vince doesn't really care right now. So if Vince had cared, this is what I think he would have done. And that's what this show is going to be, that I'm going to talk about. I'll also talk about PCB and everything else. But this is what I felt about the matches. Roman Reigns versus Kofi Kingston. Now, I feel that, as crazy as it sounds, why didn't they let Kofi win this? I would have liked to see Kofi Kingston go up against Dolph Ziggler instead of Dolph Ziggler going against Biggie Langston. Biggie Langston could have gone against Roman Reigns. And if Roman had to win, which I know they had to let him win, it would have made more better sense to have a power guy versus a power guy. And an all-arounder like a Kofi Kingston versus an all-arounder like a Dolph Ziggler. But I feel that Dolph should not won there because he has nothing really to bring to the party. But Kofi Kingston in the New Day had something compelling. He did a nice cut of a promo before he got in the ring with a Roman Reigns and did a great match. So I felt like one of the people that should have been switched out was Kofi Kingston. The next one that could have been switched out was Cesaro. Cesaro over Kevin Owens. Cesaro's been there longer. Kevin Owens didn't need this right now. He is the IC champ. He needs a really good feud. This is not a feud. This is just him wrestling. And it gets old after a while. Cesaro is much over by the crowd. People want to see Cesaro. They want to see that man get somewhere because he has the crowd over. And he could have been the second person to win. Now, ADR, I do believe, needed to win. And if you had to throw Roman Reigns in, you throw Roman Reigns in. But why not have, if it was another Fatal 4-Way, Kofi Kingston win the match or Cesaro? In fact, I would have liked to see Kofi Kingston win that match. For the simple reason, not just because he's black, is because out of everyone there, and that is ADR, he just came back. When it came to Cesaro, he's got a lot of momentum, but he's not the most popular right now. Roman Reigns is still very divided because people really don't care about Roman, but now the WWE's decided because he's a power guy, the Samoan, they're going to push his ass. Well, part Samoan. If it had been Kofi Kingston, not only would we have gotten something very compelling, they would finally straighten that shit out of what happened between him and Randall Keith Orton. And in fact, they need something new. 900,000? I don't know how much it was. 990, 980, 970,000 people watched the product the week before. That's not good. So they need to change some shit. Now, PCB versus the Bellas. If you saw my review of Hell in a Cell, I felt that when it comes down to it, Paige needed to attack the former members of PCB there. It would have been better than her being so loving and running out and trying to grab the spotlight to a certain extent. It really was a lost opportunity. And when you see this, honestly it was. Because when they had the match and subsequently Becky had the job to Nikki, it felt half-assed, to be honest. It did. Because it felt forced. It felt like Becky had no choice but the job there. And to be honest, I would have liked to hear a Paige talk and say her piece. To be honest, if I didn't even have to worry about that, I wanted to see Team Bad. Where the fuck was Team Bad? What happened to Sasha Banks? What the fuck? Sasha had her match over at NXT about a week ago, at least. And since then, she hasn't been on TV. Like Vince said, well, she's Snoop Dogg's cousin. She's got some nice skin there, yeah. She will eventually become Divas Champ, maybe in about 5 years or so. I don't need to show her now. Get her the fuck off my TV. Along with Naomi and Tamina. Where are they? Superstars now? This is bullshit. I would rather see Team Bad than actually see Paige deal with a Charlotte. And then the kicker here. This is the kicker, ladies and gentlemen. Becky Lynch. What is she doing? She's a Scott. Sorry, I botched here because I saw some of Becky Lynch in NXT. She has great potential. She can do work in the ring, but she's a sidekick to Charlotte, and that's all she's ever going to be. Kind of like what happened with LeCool at one point, where Layla was nothing but a sidekick until we had the Lay leave, well, the Cool leave, and then the Lay stays. I mean, come on. That's the only way you can say it. And that's what I see for Becky Lynch. She's not going to do anything for at least 4 to 6 months. Unless she's going to start facing someone on the roster, which I don't believe is going to happen. I just don't see it. Now, when it comes to the opening of the show, now, I could have said this earlier. I really want to make this very clear. When it comes to the opening of the show and the commentators, commentation has gotten so bad, along with how Steph and Triple H have been working, that I tuned it out. I didn't watch it all the way. I basically changed the channel because I've seen so much of the same thing over and over again. I didn't really care. Of course, for this review, I watched it. But when I saw it originally, I didn't give a fuck. So I really believe that WWE has lost a lot of their understanding what makes people interested in this product. They need to cut out that 15 to 10 minute promo shit. It has been on too long. And even though this wasn't very long, I didn't give a fuck about it. Bray Wyatt is the last thing I'm going to talk about. If I'm forgetting anything, I'm sorry. But this is what I'm going to talk about. Bray Wyatt and his segment. It is so sad to see that the WWE has no clue what to do. Bray Wyatt should be way better than this. And they have to let him kidnap The Undertaker and his brother to get the attention he needs And unless Sting is going to be interjected into this, it is completely useless. As simple as this. When you look at this situation with Bray Wyatt should not have the Wyatt family with him. He shouldn't have to kidnap The Undertaker. He shouldn't have to kidnap Kane. He should already be to the point where he doesn't need to get help to get over. Bray Wyatt is that bad. He's that lost. The WWE has destroyed this character. And I see all these people shining their wonderful flashlights in their smartphones for nothing. Because at this moment in time, and I'm going to say two things. One, what's going to probably happen, and one that I believe should happen. What's going to probably happen. Bray Wyatt is going to be with the Wyatt family. The Undertaker is going to re-show himself. And it's going to be Kane. And they're going to do something at Survivor Series. That's what I believe is going to happen. They're going to have a Survivor Series match between Kane, The Undertaker, and the Wyatt family. Do you guys believe that is compelling television? No. Now, if it isn't the Wyatt family, excuse me, allergies. But if it's not going to be Wyatt family, are they going to have a challenge between Bray Wyatt and The Undertaker now? Or Bray Wyatt and Kane? Are you serious? I don't see that happening. It's stupid. And this is where the WWE has gone down the road. Unless they're going to turn them to their side, which I doubt they're going to do. Now, this is what I believe should happen. The reason that Bray Wyatt took The Undertaker and took Kane was to lure out Sting. The vigilante is the only redeeming quality for this situation. Now, I've said this in my pay-per-view, and I'm going to say this right now. If this doesn't include Sting eventually, if Sting doesn't come out of nowhere to help them, and then this spurs Taker to deal with Sting eventually in WrestleMania 32, then this was absolutely stupid. You must have Sting interjected into the situation before Survivor Series happens. If it doesn't happen, we don't care. Now, I'll paint you a little bit of a story very shortly. Bray Wyatt in the next Raw talks about having Undertaker, having Kane, and eventually Sting's theme and video pops up and he comes out. This is the only reason this has to be done. He comes out, or the lights dim, and then he appears. And then he takes on Bray Wyatt. Or he says, where is The Undertaker? Where is Kane? If this doesn't happen, this is going to make no sense. And I know I'm stretching this. This is a stretch, ladies and gentlemen. But at this moment, the reason I said this is because what do we got to look for? Look forward to. Kane versus The Undertaker versus the Wyatts. Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns for the championship, where the person who really needs to be going after the championship is Brock Lesnar because he got fucked out of it because of The Undertaker and Seth Rollins. So the real person who needs to do the title is not there. The real people who need to be challenging each other, which is not Kane, but The Undertaker and Sting, is not doing it. So you tell me, what do we have to look forward to? The Dudleys are not the tag champs. ADR may be the US champ, but who is he going up against as a Mex-American? You tell me who. Is it going to be Jack Swagger now? There's almost nothing good here. And it really is so upsetting. The WWE is lost. But this is just my point of view. You guys tell me below what you're thinking. So I hope you enjoyed the Zane view. Please give me a comment below. Look for my ADR video, which will be about how will he be treated by the WWE. And if you have any ideas for new debate of the week, just leave me a comment below on, hey, why don't you talk about this person, or why don't you check out this? I looked at this. Give me an idea. Have a good day and have a good night. Peace!